Happy Saturday. It's Heidi Hardy, and today is the second part of Real Life Transitions, the mini-series part 2. Yesterday, for those of you who had a chance to see my video, I shared what kind of week I had, and I thought it was very open and honest, and I've decided that I would share this experience with you every day as we go through this transition in my life, because I think people everywhere are going through transitions. And what I mean by transitions is sometimes a transition is you get laid off, sometimes you get forced to retire, sometimes you're just so sick of the rat race you're ready to start your own thing. And all those things shake up your world a little bit. And believe it or not, it shakes up your world, other people's worlds. So I thought I would know that it would be something we can share together. So you feel free to come on and comment and let me know and give me your feedback. Thank you, Gary Leland, for the advice on the tripod. I appreciate it. Yesterday, what I said was at the beginning of this past week, I had news about my show and it had gotten canceled off of the radio network, and for reasons that I will not talk about right now, so it's not really important. But we are going to get Real Life DFW back on as soon as possible. I believe next week we're going to have one of our first episodes, so stay tuned for that. We're so excited. The other thing that happened was I walked into the office that I've been walking into for almost 2 years with an IT company that I absolutely love, but they had to lay me off. So I found myself in a transition. I need a job. I need I need to make some changes, and those changes are happening as we speak. Yesterday was a fantastic day. I had 3 or 4 people call me and ask me what kind of job I wanted, and they told me to send me the resume. And by the way, I want to wipe out resumes for the rest of my life and everybody else's, but resumes are necessary. So I'm going to pull my resume together. I also had great creative conversations with people about what they want to do and how they might collaborate with me. So yesterday was a fantastic day, and overall there's so much happening that I just can't keep my mind still for very long. So how you handle transitions is a pretty important thing. Yesterday I said I was going to help you with 4 tips. Tip number 1, when you get news that there's going to be a transition in your life, I want you to know that it's okay. You have permission to get emotional. Cry, pout, scream, whatever makes you feel better, be emotional, because it is emotional. And when people say, well, it's not personal, it's just business, it is personal. You are making a transition in your life, and change is hard. So get emotional. That's totally okay. It's not okay to yell at the kids or kick the dog or take it out on other people, but being emotional is human and it's normal, and please take the time to do that. Cry if you want to. The thing that I want to make sure that we understand with this first tip is do it for a short period of time. Don't carry on for weeks, days and weeks and months, because emotion gets in the way of making forward strides towards what you ultimately need to do. So one day only to get emotional. Okay, second one is that the tip number 2 is people care about you. There are tons of people who care about you. You probably don't even know how many people are thinking about you and caring about you as we sit here and have this conversation. So don't forget to reach out to people who care about you. They want to know that something's happening in your world that's shifting your world, and they are going to be encouraging and loving and kind. And so don't be afraid to share and feel vulnerable because of this transition. Will people judge? Yes. Some people will say, well, you know, that's just another job that was lost. Or some people will say, oh, how'd you get yourself into that again? Don't listen to them. The people that love you and want to support you are going to be there and say, you've got this, don't you worry, it's all going to be okay. Tip number 3 is, this is hard, but I'm getting much better at it, is ask for help. And when you ask for help, here's what's really important about that. You have to be specific. If somebody says, hey, do you need a job? And you say yes, and they ask you, what do you want to do? And you say just about anything, but you know you're not going to want to you're not going to want to work fast food, or you're not going to want to, be a crossing guard, or things that are good for you. You have to be specific. So my specific wants are that I want to be in marketing and communications. And so when people sent me job descriptions and opportunities, it had that in the headline, which really was exciting for me because it was something that I knew I can get into and be excited about. And this is the last tip, and I'll let you go after this. Stay positive. I hate it when people say that sometimes. You just stay positive. It's going to be okay. It is going to be okay. I love the saying that says, I hate to spoil it, but everything's going to be okay. The ending of all of this is that everything's going to be okay. And are you going to go through some changes? And is it going to get a little bit hard? Probably, but everything's going to be okay. So as often as possible, keep telling yourself that. Stay positive. Make sure that when people help you, that you give them thanks, and that you, in return, whatever your situation is, can return the help. Those are the 4 tips about going through your transition in life. Tomorrow's 4 tips are going to be pretty exciting because I haven't been in this position for very long, but I remember having emails and calls from people that are going through this. So I want to be better at it when I get out of my transition to support others that are going through their transition. So I'll have 4 tips about how to support people that you love going through a transition. This is Heidi Hardy. It's Real Life Transition, and it's Saturday, and so we're going to have a wonderful day with the family, and I hope that you do the same thing. Thank you for listening to this Real Life Facebook Live episode, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.